From Craig Rolson in Europe, David Gerber in Brazil, and our editor-in-chief and publisher, Don Oshman, it's time for this week's Sunday Night Week in Review.
And welcome to another edition of the Sunday Night Week in Review, HideNet Week in Review. My name is Don Oshman, editor-in-chief and publisher of HideNet Market Reports. In Europe, there's no news this week because everybody's on holiday. Not everybody, but the people who are still slaughtering their hides are still being picked up by those who buy them green and cure them, but there's no sales to be reported, at least officially reported. North America this week, steer prices moved up again to match their historic highs set last March, right after and in and around the APLF in Hong Kong. So we're just about at those levels, or at those levels now, which is a surprise to many, many people. We discussed why and how that happened. The cow market is basically steady. The production is down. The production is down on everything, but the production is down and prices haven't gone up as a result. So supply and demand, there's not enough demand for even a reduced supply in the cow sector, except for maybe Holstein cows. Another cow killer closed up this week, Texas Packer L&H. That makes 2 weeks in a row where cow killers that kill about 1,500 to 2,000 head a week have closed their doors for lack of cattle to slaughter. Combined export sales, wet blue and raw hides were 495,800 pieces this week. The combined outstanding, raw and wet blue outstanding, hides still need to be shipped but haven't been shipped yet, were steady. Combined shipments were down 15% from the previous week. And again, for the fourth consecutive week, slaughter, this incredibly reduced slaughter, which is running about 7% below a year ago, still surpassed export and domestic sales that were reported. So for 4 weeks in a row, you'd think the market would have gone down because slaughter exceeded sales, but it didn't. The market went up. Also, in this week's report, we talk about quarterly profits for Cargill, Adidas, and NBP. And we give you our forecast and why the market's doing what it's doing and why we think it's going to continue to do what it's doing. In Latin America this week, green hides are still firm. The tanners still are squeezed because they can't get enough for their wet blue. They're trying to get $2 a square foot for TR1, and they're getting it for the very primo productions with great difficulty, a lot of resistance. But they're selling okay. They don't need to sell, they're not pushing, and when they really get the right customer for the right product and the right shipment, they can get the $2 a square foot. Argentina, prices are firmly steady, as they are in Uruguay, but the split markets in all those countries are not what they were. This week in leather, we talk about China's light leather production. We talk about also the Chinese tanneries that were forced to close. Another little article about footwear being 81% of all the footwear sold in the United States, this is rubber and non-rubber leather, comes from China. Vietnam is gaining on China, but China is still a dominant force. There's also quarterly results for Steve Madden, I'll get it, and Puma. Also reports on handbag makers, which did not do very well. That's Kering, Kors, Coach, all those expensive, I was going to say fancy handbags, reported lower sales this quarter. There's another report on Prime Asia winning an award, and CICB Sustainability Conference in Brazil, which is coming up soon. And then in the GDS show in Europe, which is a major footwear show, attendance was down. Even the exhibitors admitted attendance was down, which is surprising. Next week, we're going to the Platform Show in Las Vegas to report on this very important semi-annual American footwear fair. Thank you for watching. HideNet.com. Know what's going to happen before it's going to happen, and you can trade, buy, and sell accordingly. Thanks for watching.